What's up, Prep Insider fans? We were able to catch up with Lolo Reynolds as she was walking out. Great opportunity to interview her. Heck of a last 2 minutes coming back from 10 points. What can you say about how you guys were able to come back?
Honestly, we came out in one of the timeouts and we kind of looked at each other and we were like, we can't lose this game. Like, we've come so far and we've been the underdog since the beginning, and we were like, we need to work hard and we need to persevere and get through this. And we really just said we need to come together as a team, and that's exactly what we did. And it was credit to all the girls. The defense was insane those last 2 minutes. It didn't just come down to my shot. We had so many tips and deflections, and that's what got us those buckets at the end. So
it's coming down to the wire. You guys are down 2 points. Ball goes off your hands out of bounds. I'm gonna go low here and then we'll go up high. But what were you thinking when that ball went out of bounds?
Oh, I was so in my head. I wanted to cry. My stomach dropped when the ball went through my hands. I was like, did I really just blow that? Junior in high school, did I blow this game? And then my teammate high-fived me and was like, hey, next one's yours. And I was like, okay, let's go. We got nothing to lose, so.
Poway travels their next possession. You get the ball back. Things kind of happen a little bit arid. Someone gets fouled with 6 seconds left. 6 seconds left. What are you thinking?
I really thought we were going to come through. I thought we were going to win at the end of the game because Poway just looked so down. Halfway through the fourth, we were down by 11?
Yeah, you guys are down double digits with 2 minutes left.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And everyone on Poway just looked dog tired, and we were like, oh, let's go. Let's get them right now when they're down. And that's what we did, so.
Let's real quick. You're going slow-mo. Ball's going right through the net. What is your immediate reaction to knocking off a big-time rival and a big-time league opponent? It was so, everything just froze for a second, and then my teammates were all around me and screaming, and then I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be screaming too. This is, oh my gosh, that just happened. And then I saw the crowd stand up, and everyone was crying because we've been working so hard, and the past couple days of practice coming off the loss from MC, everyone was working their butts off, and to come out here tonight and pull through and win this game, it meant a lot to us. You've done this before. You girls did this last year. You didn't win league, and then you ran off a bunch of wins and won D2.
Don't remind me.
Do you girls, in the back of your mind, how hard is it going to be to do that again?
I don't know. We just got to keep working every day. We just need to come out to practice and work as a team. We've been a lot more positive lately, and there was a point in time where I think we all got down on each other a little too much, and now we've realized that and we've accepted it and we've moved forward from it, and there's so much more high-fiving and just positivity, oh, you got the next one. That's every play. I feel like someone says that, so.
D1 playoffs is definitely going to be fun to watch, especially with you girls in it. Haseen, any more?
I just got one question. So I saw you guys probably October, November. You guys were a lot different team. You guys looked a little dejected, trying to adjust to all the seniors you lost, coming off the championship team. You guys have had an amazing season. I think for me, knowing your program, knowing you, knowing your coach, I feel no disrespect to your teammates, of course, but I feel the work that you've done as a leader, stepping up in a new role, and your leadership as your coach have really guided you this far. Talk about how it's been for you based off your expectations then to where you guys are now.
Oh, totally. Coming into the season, no one ever thought we'd get 20 wins this year, just because we were such a young team and we only had 2 returners because there was an injury and a transfer, and we were coming in what are we going to do? We have no one from last year, really. And my coach told me I need to score more and I need to try to keep the ball in my hands. And that's what I've done, and I think I've really taken on that role, and it's helped me grow as a player and a person. But my teammates, seriously, they do so much for me, and they just mentally really help me stay strong through games. Being down in double digits in the fourth quarter of a game, that's never really a good sign. And no one lost hope, and that's amazing. So,
great job.
Lauren, good luck to you in the playoffs. Thanks for stopping by and talking to us. Congratulations on another great shot. If you guys want to check out that shot, it's posted on Twitter. We were able to record the final 6 seconds. And for more information, be sure to check out our podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Reynolds has left the building
absolute insane game. Hits a three at the buzzer to win the game for Rancho Bernardo over Poway. And what can we say about this huge comeback late in the last 2 minutes?
Well, you gave it the announcer's jinx. Called it before it was officially done a little too early.
I did.
They heard you and they woke up. No, just a great play by a great player, making a huge clutch shot. Just nothing else you could say about it. Clutch.
So I like to call this a Blink-182 rivalry because of the ties that Blink-182 has to both schools. So in doing so, I decided to tweet out multiple song references in the tweets, intermingle it. So when I was working on that, I wanted to use I'm Feeling This, and I was feeling that game was over, and it wasn't, because Lauren Reynolds put the team on her back shooting-wise. It wasn't just her, because they made a lot of things happen, but three threes that I know of in the last 2 minutes. You got to be excited. That's as a coach.
You can't ask for a better feeling going into the playoffs to have a big comeback against a solid team, down late. Coach Williamson did a great job of fouling, pressure defense to extend the game. With a minute left, he probably got about 3 or 4 extra possessions, which put his team in a position to put the ball in his best player's hands to make a shot.
That was an incredible atmosphere. They're getting ready to start the men's game in just a second. Poway RB is actually playing girls rugby over on the field over there to our right as well. But So Poway and RB, they finished with the same league record now. They're both in the same division. What our predictions are looking at was Poway was going to get the 6th seed and RB was going to get the 8th seed in D1. How does this change that?
Well, his first year with Max Preps, and I know one of the deciding factors is if you're head-to-head, if you're directly behind a team. So with them being split and them being close, I honestly don't know how it's going to play out. I've asked a couple friends of mine that are going to be in that room for some pointers, but me as a basketball media guy and as a coach, I'm really anxious to see what's going to happen tomorrow night or Saturday with the seedings.
I'm anxious to see that tomorrow morning as well, because they split 1-1. They have the same league record. Their top record against the top 10s arguably the same. Maybe do they influence more that RB just won and Poway won earlier in the season? Who knows what it's going to be like? But that's going to be an interesting topic of discussion for the seedings tomorrow. But real quick, let's get into our top 10, our final top 10 of the season before we start breaking down all the league champs and all the division winners and how great Hassine is at picking games, because I don't know how he does it. So let's get into the top 10. Working from 10 to 1. Eastlake drops to 10 this week. Westview sneaks in at 9. Cathedral 8. Bonita Vista 7. Those two teams flip-flopped. LCC 6. Anything about the bottom part of the top 10?
Probably Eastlake, trying to figure out if they're going to be able to crack that top 8. They played a really tough schedule, lost a lot of kids, played probably better than a lot of the quote-unquote experts thought. So I'm interested to see how that between Westview, Cathedral, Eastlake, and Bonita, how that plays out for that 8th spot.
Those final 4 teams, I think any two of that combination or any type of combination between those 4 teams making it into the Open is pretty fair, and definitely. Can't really make too many arguments against them being out. So that's the bottom 5 of our top 10 as I started there. San Marcos, Mission Hills, Santa Fe Christian, Mount McGill, La Jolla Country Day from 5 to 1. Pretty much the same all year.
Country Day in back-to-back nights. I watched them. We were there last week for their game against Bishops, where they were dominant. They were just as dominant the next day against number 5 San Marcos. So, it's really hard to pick against them as well as they're playing. They got 8 wins against the top 10 teams. They played a tough out-of-section schedule. So, I don't think there's a team that's more primed and prepared for not only a CIF run but maybe a state run.
So that's our top 10. There's a couple teams I'll give some shout out. Bishops dropped out of our top 10 for the first time in a long time. They're kind of struggling, not at the right time right now. Scripture Ranch has made their way into conversation. They're 12 in our rankings. Mater Dei's back on the rise. Del Norte's hanging around, and then Escondido Adventist Academy, 25-1, doing good things down there in D3. So let's get it real quick. Games we picked last week. I went 3-2. Which is pretty standard, but this guy went 3-2. But the one stat I want to point out, Hassine has lost 3 games all year. 2 of them are by 1 point. So in essence, he was 2 points away from being just having one loss, and the Mar Vista game kind of bit you. But how do you get these so right?
Luck. A lot of it's luck. I mean, some of it is watching these teams, but I mean, anybody who could tell you they know what's going to happen in the game being played by girls, ages of 14 to 18 is lying to you, because you just don't know.
At the end of the day, they're 14 and 18-year-olds need to play our 14 and 8-year-olds. They're all kids. They all make mistakes. You don't know who's going to go off, all that sort of thing. So our games we picked, Point Loma beat Morse last week. Madison beat Hoover. Chula Vista beat Mar Vista, which both of us got wrong. Surprise there where the Spartans got the win. Mission Hills beat San Marcos by 4, which I thought was a little telling. San Marcos put up a pretty good fight up there, and then Imperial beat Holtville, which both of us thought was going to happen. So at the end of the year, there's one more game. We picked Torrey Pines LCC. That's going on right now. But at the end of the year, you went 26-3. I went 19-11. I'll take my 19-11. I bow down to the almighty picker. That was incredible. But when the seedings come out tomorrow, we're going to do a whole March Madness style bracket picks. We're going to pick every game for every division.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yes. I don't know of a place where you can gamble on high school sports, but in London they might have these games on display to bet, because they bet about pretty much everything. But that's a story for neither here nor there. So let's get into it. So what we're going to do real quick, we got like 4 minutes to get this done, but Open Division to Division 5. We're going to give you the top 8 teams according to Max Preps, what we think is going to happen. We're going to give you our favorite to win the division and potential dark horse in there. So as of right now, according to Max Preps, with everything that's been put in so far, this is what the Open playoffs should look like tomorrow, give or take maybe a couple teams. La Jolla Country Day 1, Mission Hills 2, Santa Fe Christian 3, Mount McGill 2, Mission Hills 4, LCC's 5, San Marcos 6, Westview 7, and Cathedral Catholic 8. What sticks out to you when you first see those 8 teams?
Again, trying to figure out who's going to be that A spot, and then how those matchups are, especially with the 1, 2, 3, 4. How you figure out if we have chalk in the first round, how those second round matchups, semifinal matchups go. So where those top 4 seeds fall, 1 through 4, is really going to dictate what happens. Getting the championship game.
What I felt interesting is it kind of goes against what we've had all year. They have San Marcos below LCC. LCC lost to San Marcos earlier in the year, so head-to-head doesn't really look like it's playing out too much in Max Preps. And the other thing is Westview is ranked very high in Max Preps. Not saying they don't deserve it, but it's a little surprising to us. So as far as I'm concerned, La Jolla Country Day is the favorite to win, in my opinion. And then my dark horse team is a team that we talked about last week, stayed at 6 all year, and that's La Costa Canyon. I think they might scare some people. Who do you have?
So I'm gonna hedge my bets. So I'm gonna go with, you're the champ until somebody defeats you. So I'm gonna go with my predicted winner would be Mission Hills, and then my dark horse would be San Marcos. So I'll have one of those teams alive, most likely, because they're probably going to face off in the first round. There
you go. You're just loving up north in the San Marcos region, which Absolutely. Is totally. Just shout outs to those 2 coaches up there. Let's go into D1. Bonita Vista, Eastlake, Scripps Ranch, Mater Dei, Bishops, Poway, Del Norte, RB. In order 1 through 8, what sticks out to you when you see these?
Bonita, Eastlake are teams that could compete with the teams that are probably going to make the Open, if they don't make the Open. So those are my 2 favorites. Probably have to lean towards Bonita, since they've have a little bit stronger schedule. So that's that'll be my predicted winner, and my dark horse will be Bishops.
My favorite is Bonita Vista. I think they're going to make the Open, but let's just say they don't in D1. I think they're going to win. If they do make the Open, then I think Mater Dei has a good chance of winning. They're my dark horse team. Let's get into D2. D2 is a little bit weird. It's the only division that doesn't have a league champion in it. The top team is Olympian. They're 13-12 on the year. Then Carlsbad, Montgomery, Helix, Vista, Ramona, El Camino, and Francis Parker. When I look at this list, I think it's wide open.
It is. It's really wide open. I think Olympian is a team. That Metro League was really tough this year between Eastlake and Bonita and Olympian, Montgomery, Mater Dei. So I think they're battle tested. I think they're flying on the radar. That's my pick to win it. Dark horse, I'll go with Helix.
I'm going to go Montgomery favorite and Dark Horse Helix. That might be the same as yours. It probably is, but that's what we got. D2 is so wide open. We just picked a 3 seed as the favorite and a 4 seed as our dark horse. It's going to be a game. When you look at that list, you go, the records aren't really there. It's not going to be that great, but that is going to be a tournament that's going to be fun to watch because of how close those teams are in comparison. D3 is another division that I think is going to be a hell of a contest to watch. As you go through the list here, Escondido Venice Academy, they're 25-1. They're the 1. Christian's really good. They're 2. Tri-City Christian, San Pasqual, Otay Ranch, El Cap, Point Loma, and Calvin Christian rounding up the top 8. There's a lot of teams in there that can win that thing.
To me, I agree. That's from top to bottom, it's loaded. I think for me, I'm going to give the edge to Christian, just because they played a D1 open type schedule. So they're going to be, the level of competition that they have had versus the teams that are going to play it's a wide margin. So they're my pick. Dark horse will be El Cap.
I got Escondido Venice Academy as my top pick. They're 25-1. They did really well last year in the playoffs as well. And then as far as my dark horse goes, I kind of have a dark horse A and a dark horse B. Okay. Dark horse A is Tri-City Christian. We watched them play. They got a lot of big girls. They're doing really well. They're 18-5. Played a pretty good schedule. The other team, the team we saw early in the season, El Cap, they won league, went undefeated. They had a tough schedule at the beginning, took a bunch of lumps, but they look like they're back and ready to play in Division 3. So we've talked about the Open. We've talked about D1. We've talked about D2, D3 even. Let's get into D4. A couple more league champions in this, but they're kind of on the lower level, around 7 or around 6 and 8. But let's get through it. Maranatha Christian 1, St. Joseph Academy 2, Mar Vista 3, San Diego Academy, Calipatria, Calvary Christian, Castle Park, Escondido Charter. You look at the list, not a lot of teams that we've talked about a lot this season. There are a couple in there, but what is your reaction to that list?
So I've had kept up with a lot of the schedule that Maranatha's played. They played a couple really good teams. Even the games that they lost, they competed in against some higher level competition. So that'll be my pick. Dark horse will probably be Mar Vista.
I'm gonna go with Maranatha. I think they're the favorite to win. I think Calvary Christian is gonna be my dark horse. They're currently at a 6 seed. They went 15-3 on the year. They won the Sunset League. So Calvary Christian, my dark horse. You got to be looking out for them in D4. Let's get to D5. Madison leads D5 at the number 1 seed according to our predictions. They went 18-5. Then Pack Ridge, who we've seen, Hoover, Foothills Christian, Mountain Empire, Borrego Springs, Orange Glen, and San Pasqual Academy. Not to confuse them with San Pasqual up in Escondido.
So those are my pick is going to be Madison. I love Madison. I love Pacific Ridge. I hate having to choose between those two. 2 great programs, 2 great coaches doing an outstanding job with young kids. So, but if I had to choose, I'm going to have to go with Madison.
Dark horse?
Dark horse. Just because I want to keep everybody happy, I'll go Pacific Ridge.
See, I was gonna make you happy in the sense that I was going to take Pack Ridge anyway to be my favorite, and then we can't lose. So we both picked one or the other, but you picked both of them. But
been hedging my bets all night.
I'm going to give some love down lower on the list and really east, and that's Borrego Springs. They won the Manzanita league. They went 13-5. They're my dark horse in D5. It's gonna be tough with travel, obviously, but they're my dark horse. And like I said, Pack Ridge is my favorite. So we went through all the divisions real quick. Let's talk about. Give me 1 maybe 3 teams that you think can make a run in state, and it's got to be proportionate to the state playoffs they're in. So can't just go scapegoat. La Jolla Coach Day is going to be the best chance to win state because of the best team, because they're going to have a tougher road than maybe an Escondido Venice Academy. So go ahead, give me 3 state teams. So
first of all, with our 2 teams that I believe will be, whoever comes out of the Open for San Diego, it's going to be tough because the southern section is loaded. And of course, you got Middy's one of the best teams in the country up in Northern California. So I think it's going to be tough for a Mission Hills or Country Day or Mount Miguel to do it. So to me, it's always interesting to see how those second teams in the Open, what division they get slotted in. Last year, Sarah was an Open team, got put in Division 2 and made a run to the semifinals of state. So that's the kind of thing I'll look for. So with that being said, another team, I mentioned them early, San Marcos. If depending on how they do in Open, if they get a second, a Division II placement, they can make a run. Mater Dei, it's a team I can't give up on. They're super talented. They could fall to D3. You never know. If that happens, they can make a run. And then for a third team, even despite what I said earlier, Country Day is one of the best teams in the state. So depending on how they seed, if they get a home game in the first round of Open Division for state, who knows what can happen with them.
We want to see our best team take on everybody else's best team because we think our best team is going to beat all those other best teams.
Absolutely.
Shots fired at you, Southern Section and LA Prep Insider people. San Diego's got the best. We got the best team in our opinion, La Jolla Country Day. So let's real quick recap how the seating works tomorrow. What's it going to be like? And give me any little surprises you think might happen.
Well, I think a lot of it is, I was just talking about my guy Chris Croach, the head coach of Mission Hills, and a lot of it is they've removed all of the intrigue. It's pretty much the Max Prep rankings, and then like we talked about with how teams slot based off of head-to-head, if they're you're going to jump someone that you beat head-to-head. So like I said, I'm interested to see just as everybody else. First year, new system, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
8 teams make the Open, correct? Coming out of D1.
Yep.
As I'm know it correctly,
Yep.
and then 16 teams for the rest of the divisions,
Yep.
correct?
1 through 8 is Open, and then 9 through 24, which is the next 1 through 16 is Division 1.
And then 16, 16, 16 for the other divisions. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow, whereas as we get the seeds, it's going to be tomorrow morning. We're going to get our homework done, and we'll fill out our brackets as quickly as possible and get those posted for you so we can see who's better in the playoffs, because Hassine dominated the regular season. Last regular season podcast. Anything you guys say about the year?
It's been a blast. We got to meet a lot of good players, a lot of really engaging coaches and programs. So this was fun for me. I had a great quarterback setting me up all season, making my job easy, and just like we talked about in the first podcast, the ability to talk to these young women, these coaches. It's just been a lot of fun, and being able to expose those in the county that don't know all the talent that we have, let them put them on display.
I enjoyed it. I know covered volleyball, it was a blast. Covered girls basketball, it was a total blast working with Hassine. It's easy to be a quarterback when you got good weapons behind you that know what they're talking about. So thanks again, Hassine, for helping me out. Hope you guys enjoyed it all year. We're going to be covering all of playoffs. San Marcos and Escondido Adventist Academy, we owe you a trip.
Sorry.
Because we were supposed to go there this week. Scheduled things happened, but both of us couldn't go. So we're gonna see you guys in the playoffs. Our promise, we're gonna be there. Coach DeCarlo's been wanting us to come up there for so long. I told him we'd be up there, and then schedule changes.
I blame it on Max Preps. Max Preps had it at Friday all season, and then I find out like the day before it was Thursday, so I blame that.
Yeah, so Escondido Adventist Academy game was on Thursday, then their game got moved to Thursday, and all of a sudden your game got moved to Thursday. It's just everything was happening on Thursday, but it's been great.
Yeah.
I've loved doing it. Can't wait for the playoffs. For future stuff, we're going to be working together hopefully next year. And then come springtime, I got girls softball. Be sure to check out that podcast for everything you need to know about girls softball. For the last time in the regular season, this is a girls basketball podcast powered by Jersey Mike's. And we'll see you guys next week as it comes for playoff time in San Diego.